in future events. Anakin is horrified that this legendary Jedi has been killed in such a way. Oh yes, death swallows us all without prejudice. From the greatest Jedi to the most worthless womp rat, there's no difference in death. Anakin is fixated on Windu's body when something happens. Maul notices too. Mace Windu's body slowly fades away until it vanishes, leaving behind just a clump of empty clothes. As Anakin witnesses this, he straightens up. Are you sure about that? Maul looks up from the empty clothes, puzzled. Then his mouth twists into a growl. Anakin pulls Windu's saber towards him and ignites both. They propel themselves forward with the Force and collide with such an impact that it shakes the room around them. Maul unleashes a barrage of strikes that Anakin fends off before rolling out of the way of a strike. He turns and hits Maul with a blast of force. Maul throws up a shield to protect himself. As the blast hits the wall behind him, it smashes a few cracks in the stone. Anakin slams his sabers down into Maul's. They push into each other and Maul flips him around and tries to drive him backwards into the wall. But Anakin slams a knee into Maul's guts and with another blast of force, shoves him down. Maul's legs give out under the impact and he drops to a knee. Looking past Anakin to the cracked wall behind him, Maul rips a chunk of rock out and slams it into Anakin's back. Maul leaps up and shoves him back against the wall. Pinned and unable to move, Anakin slides his two blades in towards the center of Maul's, along the way severing all of Maul's fingers, leaving only his two thumbs. I guess he should have had a crossguard. That probably would have stopped that. Anakin slices the handle down the middle, disarming Maul, who, still rearing in pain, stumbles back. Anakin steps towards him. You were right about one thing. Death does swallow us all. He points at him with one of his sabers, and it will swallow both you and me alike. But the difference is, when my day comes, Anakin was so distracted with his speech that he didn't realize Maul was levitating up one of his sabers that was on the ground in front of him. Maul fires lightning at Anakin that knocks the remaining saber out of his hand and sends him flying back. The energy pumps out of Maul's fingerless hands and straight into Anakin's body. Anakin, who has already had his nervous system fried in the first movie, is now completely paralyzed, and he's just a helpless mass of quivering jelly against Maul's dark lightning. Maul screams in rage, just pumping all of his hatred into this lightning to barbecue Anakin alive, until with one last roar, he hits Anakin with a final spray of the lightning before collapsing to his hands and knees. Maul is near the point of exhaustion, having thrown so much of his strength into that lightning. Anakin is also seriously messed up now. Both of them are struggling to rally their strength. Out of the corner of his eye, Maul spots his saber and slowly begins to claw his way towards it. Anakin is also trying to rise above this sea of absolute agony that he's feeling. Maul reaches his saber and manages to pick it up by sandwiching it between his two palms. He staggers to his feet and fumbles to switch it on. A very difficult thing to do when you only have thumbs. But he finally manages and turns back towards his enemy and freezes on the spot. Anakin is on his feet, bracing himself against a pillar and clutching his raw stump of a hand. But what stops Maul in his tracks is the look on Anakin's face. A look unlike any that we have seen on his face before. A look of pure hatred. His eyes are almost black. His teeth are gritted in anger. It's almost as if a completely different person is wearing Anakin's face. For a split second, Maul is frozen in shock, and a tiny spark of fear flashes in his eyes, until Maul shakes it off and moves on Anakin. He only takes one step when Anakin's remaining hand thrusts out. Maul is seized by the throat immediately, and as Anakin's fingers tighten into a claw, we hear the muscles in Maul's throat beginning to cave in. He drops his saber and as he is levitated slowly into the air, sputtering for breath and twitching like a fish on a hook, we can see the life being choked out of Maul by the second. His mouth drops open, his eyes roll back in his head, and in the last second before life is completely choked out of him, Anakin's hand falls, and Maul smacks down on the ground and crumples over. Anakin limps over towards him. On the way, picking up Maul's saber, he takes a moment to inspect it. This grabs Maul's attention. Anakin's eyes move down to Maul's legs. He raises the saber up above his head and with one last swing, brings it down.